Congratulations, Pato. Where to begin on this day? Obviously, a lot of momentum heading into the month of May, and this is a good W for you guys.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it was a great day for us. It was a very, I think, a very slow-paced race, at least where we were at. Last year we did the strategy that we didn't do today. Today was a bit different in terms of, really seeing where these tires would take us in terms of blacks to reds, reds to blacks. But it was good. I think we managed it. We stayed very patient. Rinus was very quick. Alex was as well. So, I think it was definitely kind of like a follow the leader type of situation. But when the opportunities came, we were able to take advantage of that and challenge these guys for the lead of the race.
What was it? A follow the leader was after the pit stop, the scrap between you and Rinus. Tell us about the pass there in turn 5.
Yeah, I mean, I knew the only opportunity I was going to have was then and there because, like I said, it's such a fast and flowing circuit where you kind of just, you stay within probably a second and you can probably get within maybe 7/10 of the car in front once their tires are heated up. But it's really hard to strike, especially if they also are on the same strategy of fuel saving, push to pass, etc. So it was a good scramble. I think it was it's really nice to to race along someone where I feel like we've always respected each other when we race, and I think that's fantastic to have whenever you're fighting for the lead.
Questions in person. If you have a follow-up for either Alex or Rinus, let us know. Otherwise, we will cut you guys loose, and we'll see you in the month of May at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Congratulations, driver of the American Legion Honda for Chip Ganassi Racing. Again, Alex Palou is also the championship points leader right now, 3 better than Scott McLaughlin and Rinus VeeKay, driver of the number 21 Sonax Ed Carpenter Racing Chevrolet. All right, questions for this year's champion of the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama. We'll start over here. Who would like a first crack at it? Steve Wittich, go ahead.
Hey, Pato, congrats.
Thanks, man.
You ended up with 120 seconds of push to pass remaining. Was that a plan going into the race to help with the fuel saving and?
I couldn't use them, man, because I was handicapped by the fuel. So, I would have loved to use them, but I used them whenever they counted. And I was just, I was traveling. I was trying to hit a number, and it was a pretty big number. And obviously, when you use the push to pass, it eats through that mileage of fuel that you have pretty quickly. So that's probably why I ended with so much push to pass left.
The average age of the 3 guys on the podium is 22.7. I don't know if that's one of the younger ones, but I'm assuming it is. What is it like to be part of this kind of youth movement in IndyCar?
It's great, man. I think we've seen it, not just this year, but the past 2 years, and I think it's awesome to see the young ones coming to the series and giving the veterans a hard time. And at the end of the day, these guys that were racing against the Dixons, Powers, Newgardens, we've been watching them for so many years. So they're basically idols of I think all of us. When we were coming through the ranks trying to get to IndyCar, and it's really cool to be able to battle it out with them. And ultimately, what you want to do whenever you get to race against them, you can have your fanboy moment for a couple of seconds, but then you want to beat them.
Thanks, Steve. Obviously, also fortunate to be joined by the president of Aero McLaren SP and Taylor Kyle. And Taylor, a big W for you guys, and certainly as you head into the month of May, right?
Yeah, it's huge for us. I think, we knew we had this potential all along. We've had a rough start to the season, so it's nice to get back on track and perform like we know how to, and ultimately, bring a win back home for everybody that works at Aero McLaren SP and our extended family at McLaren. I think it's a big boost for us heading into the month of May, as Pato said. So very happy.
Your thoughts from the pit stand on that battle he had with Rinus after that pit stop?
Well, I told him in victory lane that pass into 5 was everything. I mean, it was huge for us to be able to clear Rinus and ultimately take the lead, but also it was huge for us to defend against Alex on his overcut as well. So the race, the boys did a great job in pit lane to just do their job and execute, and Pato did what he needed to do, and ultimately it ticked both boxes. We were able to obviously advance our position and defend against Alex, who did a great job, certainly closing the gap to us.
All right, questions for either Pato or, of course, Taylor. Go ahead.
This could be for either both of you guys, whoever wants to answer it. Pato, I know last year you were, I don't know, bummed out, maybe to say the least, after starting on pole, finishing fourth, feeling like you had a great car, and just were beat by three guys that went on that two-stop strategy when you went for three. Did you guys know, just because of how last year's played out, that was what you guys were going to shoot for and roll the dice and just kind of see how things played out? Or was there anything in the race that made you guys ultimately pick that strategy?
I think ultimately what allowed us to do it was that the pace was honestly super slow, and everybody was doing that, and I think that was for sure the fastest way to get around for the 90 laps. For obviously not for the fastest lap, but we wanted to win the race. Not last year I think we got fastest lap, but we crossed the finish line in fourth. So I think it was all about how can we save as much fuel, and also we were a bit into the mercy of how long are we going to make the reds last, and I think that was probably the biggest thing, just making sure that we can make the reds last up until lap, I don't know when I pitted, 28 or 30 or something. So I think that was the biggest thing, just making sure that we didn't just overshoot the tire in the first 10 laps because we weren't going to make it to do the two-stopper. So I think it's just a combination of a lot of things, but whenever you're saving so much fuel, it makes the saving of the tire a lot easier.
Yeah, I'd say, looking at, I think the biggest threats to us on that strategy were Newgarden, Herta, and Grosjean. We did that last year. It's really hard. It's really hard to make it work. It's hard to pass, especially, Pato talked about it in our strategy brief this morning. A full fuel car is you can be pushing it, but it's difficult, so to do what you have to do to make that work, you've got to make up the pit loss time. You got to pass a lot of cars, and it's just a difficult way to go about it. So our thought was, let's make it as easy as we can on ourselves. Let's take advantage of being out front. He had the pace to do it. The tires lasted. He drove in a way that we were able to get the number. We were able to maintain pace and keep the tires under us. So for us, it was kind of a no-brainer to stick to that.
Pato, I know you told me just a little over a week ago that you were in this great rhythm. Your mindset on and off the track had changed almost completely 180 with the closing on your new contract extension. Was today's and really this whole weekend's performance feeding off of that, or was this all really just all around a great race weekend that we got used to seeing from you last year?
I think the shift I think that we kind of felt was in Long Beach. Actually, I just think we had a great race there, and I think a top 5 finish in this series is pretty stellar because it's so competitive and there's so many factors that have to go right in order to be up there. So I just think this weekend was the perfect weekend to do it. I love this place. We had a great car here. No reason why we wouldn't have had a good car here this weekend, which we just proved that we were the guy to beat. We missed it just by a little bit in qualifying, but I knew I had the pace. I knew the car had the pace, and it was just kind of playing a bit of a waiting game because these races are so long where it's not a sprint race. If we would have started and it's 30 or 40 laps, and you maybe approach it a bit different, but it's 90 laps, so it's so long. So I wasn't really stressing. I was just managing my fuel, my tires, and just taking care of everything. And whenever the opportunity would come to us, I was sure to be ready to take advantage of it.
And last question for Taylor. Taylor's, as someone who's as close to anyone as to Pato and the AMSP organization, have you been able to notably see that mental shift both on and off the track from Pato that he's been talking about over the last couple weeks?
Well, I think that just as an entire group of people, certainly Pato and our whole team, I think we've kind of hit the reset button. As he said, Long Beach was a catalyst for us to show that we can perform at a high level again after last year, to back it up. So for me, I want to give him the tools succeed, and the rest is up to him, and he takes advantage of it certainly when we have a good car to compete at the front, we compete at the front. So that's the goal for us, is to continue to put in the work and put in the effort and make sure that we've got a car and a team and a group of people that can support Pato, and the rest is up to all of us to execute. So I think today proves that we can do that, and we'll continue to do that. So that's where we're at.
I'm going to follow up on that because he literally word for word almost stole my question. So did the 5 team need the driver's mindset to change to reach its potential?
I don't know if it needs a mindset, but and I've said to him before, the driver in our team, I don't know how it is with everybody else, but is the quarterback, right? As the quarterback goes, the rest of the team goes. As the driver goes, the rest of the team goes. He's got such an infectious spirit, such a an energy that it's impactful to what we do, in a very good way. So I think that there's kind of two things there. He's a very important part of what we do. But as a team, you have to be able to compartmentalize things as well too. And we're moving from race to race, different circuit type to different circuit type. We're testing, we're racing, we're doing so many things that we just need to be able to focus on what we're doing today. So I would say that the drivers in our organization are certainly impactful to the general aura of what we've got going on. But ultimately, us as a team, we have to be able to withstand whatever might happen. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
When he gets out of the car at Long Beach and he's back to old Pato, and then he shows up here and he's Pato again, do you guys feel like, yes, we can go win this week?
I always feel like we can win, honestly. I mean, it's
Angry Pato can win too.
No, I mean, I always feel like we can win, and that's the beauty of having Pato drive one of our cars, is that we've now won at a road course, we've won at a street course, we've won at a super speedway. If we had the
People ready for
I also
a good
needed to make
challenge?
sure Joseph didn't win that award.
Well, I'm just saying, ultimately for us, I think that we've got a driver that can compete and win at any circuit type, and that's what it is. It's up to us. We put a good car together. If we come prepared, if we roll off the truck in a good window, it's hard to beat.
Pato, I asked you Friday if Happy Pato is dangerous to the rest of the field. You said you didn't know, and today you got a win.
What do you think?
Yeah, I thought you were a little dangerous there, going through turn 5. Not dangerous, bad. Sorry.
Patient Pato.
Patient, yeah.
Yeah.
So now you head into a very important month. What do you got planned for
Yeah,
it?
the big boy. Everybody wants to win that one. It's the massive cookie that everybody just wants to have in their room and looking at it and thinking about it. So I'm pumped. I've never been able to do an Indy 500 with a bunch of people. I mean, last year there was a bunch, but I think this year's probably going to be double or something. So I'm really excited to see that. It's just, there's nothing like it. It's just crazy. I tell everybody that you need to go and experience it in person for you to be able to grasp what an event that is. And obviously I can't even imagine what it would be like winning it.
Can you win it?
Sure as hell the plan.
And I'm curious, talking about earlier, the younger guys coming up, who have you fanboyed over on track?
So I remember like it was yesterday, actually. I was in Sonoma, my first IndyCar test. And I usually look like at Dixon, Power, and Newgarden. And I think I spun 4 times. So I caused 4 red flags in the span of I think 35 minutes in the chicane in the Sonoma. And every time I spun, Joseph would come around looking at me, shaking his head. And I was like, shit. Yeah, but then I had a good racer, which made it a lot better.
Patrick Steffen, go ahead. Thanks, guys, for passing the mic.
Taylor, you again stole a question. Oval, road course, street circuit, Pato. You checked the box, the bingo card, as we call it. Did you feel like that was your talent level coming in? Did you think you could do all those that quickly, from the diversity standpoint?
That was my question.
No, he gave it up earlier. It's your question for you this time.
Question.
He talked about it. I want you to talk
Did you
about
just ask him if he thinks he has the talent to win?
No, I didn't think he would do those 3 different things that quickly.
I was pretty bummed that we didn't win a road course last year. Yeah, and man, I love this place, and I also I wanted to complete it because I've had the chance to win here in Mazda and in Indy Lights. So I really wanted to win in IndyCar to kind of complete the three formulas that I've raced around here. But it's a great circuit. I've always, like, ever since the first time I came, I loved it. It's super well taken care of. It's just a beautiful facility, and I think today was a great turnout. Beautiful day, very different to what it rose in the morning like, which was cool to not have a very overcast, cloudy day. So yeah, great day to go racing.
Let me ask it a different way. Of the three different kinds of circuits we run in IndyCar, which one did you think would have been the first? This is the last one you won on the road course. Would you thought that would have been first, or the oval first? Street circuit.
Oval would have been the last one I thought I was going to win. It was the first one. The first one I think I'd win was probably a street course, and then it would have been a road course, and then so kind of switched around. I don't mind it though.
Go ahead.
Pato, you kind of led into my first question there. You've won here in what was Pro Mazda, then Indy Lights, now here. How great is it to be able to say that you've won on all three of those now?
It's awesome, man. And it's just a track that I just really enjoy driving. You can really feel out the limits of whatever car you're driving, which make it extra fun in terms of just the physical aspect and from a racing standpoint. It's not an easy track to pass. So I think whenever you do see a pass around here, it's somewhat exciting. I hope that pass was somewhat exciting, because I feel like the rest of the race was pretty boring, at least for me up there. I don't know was there a lot of action behind us? There probably was.
Yeah, there was.
That's good stuff. I can't wait to watch the race again.
Go back and watch it.
Good. What happened with them? I'll watch.
Pato, also,
Two egos going at it.
Pato, Renus also had like a 2-second gap on you before the pit stop.
What?
You had
No.
You had about a 2-second gap, Renus in front of you before the pit stop. Where'd you gain the time going into where you got the pass on him?
I sent it on the brakes. Yeah.
Fair enough. Taylor, one for you. With about a dozen laps or so left in the race, you told Pato that he was free to use overtake to defend if he needed to, and Pato said, "I've got it. Don't stress." Did your stress level go down after he said it like that, or no?
My stress level is pretty much down all the time.
No, that's a lie.
I try to stay just like that, right? But honestly, when you get feedback like that, it makes you feel comfortable that everything is in our control, which is all you can ask for when you're leading the race. So at that point, I would say, yeah, honestly, a little bit. But you never know. You never know what he's experiencing in the car. So felt under control, looked under control. It was.
We good? Go ahead, Nathan. Sorry.
Pato, ultimately, after what's transpired on and off the track over the last 2-3 months and behind the scenes, maybe even a little bit longer, do you feel like you're in a better place as a person and as a driver than you were at the end of last season?
Yeah, I feel great, man. And I think what last year gave us as a group was kind of that year of fighting for a championship under our belt. We obviously didn't come out on top, but we fought for it until the end of the race. Until the end of the season, and that's huge. You know, we had the championship mindset all year, and I think that's just, it helps when you have it into your memory bank, and then you're going through the calendar the year after that, and I think sometimes it helps you be patient. I think that's the best way I can put it. I think you mentalize and you realize what is needed to win a championship. So I think in a lot of the times it just matures your patience levels, which ultimately pay off at the end of the race.
Let's take a couple off of Zoom. Let's begin with David Melcher-Lopez from motorsport.com and Autosport. David, thanks for your patience.
No worries. Congratulations, guys. I wanted to know how close you are to confirming your contract.
I mean, I'd say it's close. But honestly, you know, we're so we're into the season already, so I don't want to worry about it. So I think things will shape up. There's been very positive conversations, and I think the vibe in the team is fantastic, and I think that's what we need going into the month of May. And the rest I think will take care of itself. I don't have a date for you. I guess whenever it's signed, you'll probably see it in the media somewhere. You'll probably be one of the first ones to know, actually.
Taylor?
Yeah. What Pato said. It's done. We're in a good place.
Okay. And what's the situation with Felix?
It's all smiles and unicorns, man.
Situation with Felix. So, ultimately for us, I think we want to take our time with any driver decision. So this situation, as I've talked about it quite a bit, I think for us, we want to get through a lot of the season just to understand kind of where we're at. I want to take more of a sample size than what we've got. So we'll make that decision when the time's right, and you guys will know.
Okay. Also, I wanted to ask where you feel the balance between Chevy and Honda is at the moment.
Well,
Wanna take it?
yeah, I'll just speak and you can speak, but I don't know where Honda's at, but all I know is that Chevy has put a tremendous amount of work into their package in the off season, and I can sit here and say that they've given us everything that we've asked for. They've worked relentlessly to close any perceived gaps that they thought they had, and we certainly as a team have felt a huge shift in performance from year to year. I think we did a lot in the background as a team to improve our car performance, but Chevy's done a fantastic job as well. And at this stage in the engine game, as far advanced as we are, to find the gains that they have is really remarkable. So it's kudos to everybody at Chevy and Pratt Miller, Ilmore, for all the work that they've done. I don't know if you want to add to that.
Yeah, I'll just add to that. I think they've done a great job. They have really brought it to us this year, and they've really. I think it's great that they've been so open to our suggestions and to all the Chevy team suggestions to making us go faster, to helping us in every way they can. And yeah, I mean it's been fantastic, and I think it's a Chevy sweep for all the races so far, which I think that's awesome. So hopefully we can keep it rolling into the month of May.
Absolutely. All right, congratulations, guys.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, David. Let's go to Eduardo Olmos from IndyCar Al Dia. Eduardo, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Dave. Good afternoon. Congratulations, guys. A little follow-up on this last question for both of you. The road course package, first race of the season in this type of racetracks, and we're closing the season with two road courses. So this is the result. The win is obviously promising after all the work you have done in the off-season, right?
Yeah, I think it's it's like Taylor said, we're coming into the end of an aero package, the end of these engines in this specific spec. So it's so hard to make gains, and the little gains that you make a big difference. And we obviously identified our issues last year where we lacked. And we're getting better. We're getting better. In from my side, I think I'm doing the best job that I can in order for us to make those steps. And whenever you make those steps, it just opens your strategy windows. And when the races are so long, like here in IndyCar, it's all about your strategy. Ultimately, it pays off to qualify up front, as we saw today. It was a lot about track position. But at the end of the day, if you can just open up the decisions that the team can do at certain times in the race to make critical decisions for, a pass for the lead or whatever it may be, those little bits and pieces make a big difference.
Taylor?
Yeah, not much else to add to that other than, last year I would say road courses were our biggest weakness. And based on today, I would say they're a strength of ours. So that's really just a testament of identifying what the priorities were in the off season and tackling those and making sure that we don't sit on deficiencies, making sure as a team that we continue to improve and move forward. So proud of that.
quickly switching to Spanish. Pato, felicidades por la victoria. Qué gran salida de los pits en la segunda detención.
Gracias. Sí, mira, realmente fue un juego de paciencia. Yo sabía que yo tenía el auto y tenía todo para poder ganarla, pero es difícil, es muy difícil ganar por acá, porque la pista es muy rápida y seguir o acercarte a menos de 8 décimas es difícil poder como que dar ese paso al pase. Entonces, cuando entramos los dos a pits, estuvo difícil porque él estaba antes que yo, entonces mi entrada a box estuvo cerquita. Pero salimos al recito del dije, si tengo una oportunidad es ahorita, entonces la tomé.
Perfecto. Gracias. Thank you.
Gracias. We'll do one more. Luis Ramirez, motorsport.com, the Latin American edition. Luis, go ahead, sir.
Thanks. It's in Spanish for Pato. Pato, preguntarte dos cosas. Lo primero, ¿qué cambió después de Long Beach? Porque ahí comenzamos a ver que lo que había iniciado, como había iniciado la temporada, se comenzaba a quedar atrás y hemos visto un Pato y un Arrow McLaren diferente. ¿Qué fue lo que cambió tanto en el equipo como contigo mentalmente? Porque además fue una carrera donde surgieron declaraciones tuyas sobre tu futuro, pero parece que esto ha cambiado. Y lo segundo, en el tema técnico, hoy vimos un coche con una menor desgaste en los neumáticos, o al menos que tú nos comentes otra cosa, que había sido un problema en la temporada pasada y también al inicio de esta temporada. ¿Cómo han solucionado esto o aún sigue siendo un problema que los afecte? Gracias, Pato.
Gracias. Pues mira, la verdad, siendo muy honesto, me cansé de no ganar, me cansé de estar ahí atrás. Y en Long Beach dije, ¿sabes qué? O sea, ya olvidarnos de esto, vamos a correr, que es, pues al final del día es lo que has estado soñando como desde hace que 16, 18 años, desde que yo estaba bebé. Y pues eso dije, o sea, ya, o sea, olvídate de eso y las cosas van a tomar su paso, pero disfruta, maneja y pues vinimos a una de mis pistas favoritas, que es lo más padre. A mí siempre me ha encantado correr aquí. Me encanta que ya gané una carrera IndyCar aquí en Alabama. Entonces, muy emocionado de como que entrar al mes de mayo con este momentum. Y a tu segunda pregunta, pues mira, han sido muchos factores. No sé si ya lo hemos encontrado. En esta pista siempre hemos estado fuertes. Yo creo que una mejor prueba va a ser cuando vayamos, por ejemplo, la próxima carrera en el circuito de Indianápolis, donde ahí no ha sido nuestra pista más rápida. Entonces ahí vamos a ver realmente cuánto hemos mejorado. Y pues estoy emocionado de regresar para realmente ver qué tanto traemos y qué tanto nos falta. Pero sí, han sido muchas cositas, o sea, de parte mía, tratar de ayudarle al auto o con temperaturas o cómo las usas. Y como viste hoy, o sea, fue una carrera de muchísima paciencia porque todos estamos ahorrando combustible. Y pues cuando todos estamos ahorrando combustible, mínimo así era donde estábamos nosotros, entonces pues como que todo cae en una filita india hasta que llegue el primer pit stop o cuando la gente se empiece a cambiar de estrategias.
Gracias, Pato. Thanks.
Gracias, Luis. Unless there's a follow-up in person, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Stand by. We've got a couple more things for you. Congratulations, Taylor. Safe travels back to Indianapolis. And congratulations to Arrow McLaren SP, winners of the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama, presented by Amherst. Thanks, everyone.
I'm sorry.